tutorial I'd like to talk about some of the options available when creating 3D renderings. And so if we open up the rendering and animation dialog, we have two major rendering types. We'll use Luminance mode to start. This gives the most realistic looking rendering, and then we'll leave it scaled to auto mode just as the human eye would consider the space. And so with this we can just go ahead and click start, and then I'll also add a label to keep it separate from the second rendering I'd also like to show. And so while that's running, we can start a second rendering. This time we're going to use Illuminance mode, and this will give us a visualization of the light incident on the surface. And then I can also set a custom scale. I'll leave the max at 50 foot candles by default, and we'll be able to adjust that after the rendering's complete if it needs to be reduced. But I'll go ahead and start the Illuminance rendering as well. And with these are complete, we'll be able to compare the difference and see what they look like. And now when we open our completed Luminance rendering, we'll see it displays in standard mode by default. That gives the most realistic representation of the space. And then we can also switch to false color mode to get a breakdown of the luminance distribution. And optionally also change the luminance bounds just to give us a more appropriate scale for the space. And so I'll try 100 candelas per square meter. And that gives a nice beam pattern along the walls so we can see the luminance distribution. And then if I switch to the Illuminance rendering, it'll open in false color mode by default. There's no standard mode for Illuminance. This is just showing the heat map of the Illuminance distribution throughout the space. We can also optionally adjust the foot candle maximum. 50 looks about right for this space, but if we go up a little higher, let's say 75, maybe 100 foot candles, that'll allow us to start seeing where the distribution falls off on the floor, and so we can get those contour lines in the rendering as well. And finally, we can also create a comparison of the two different renderings to view them side by side. And so I'll start with compare and then open the Luminance rendering and then add Illuminance to the same output so we can see them together and compare the statistics that way. And so we have an average luminance calculation based on this rendering, and then an average foot candle level based on the rendering on the right. So those are the visualization options available for renderings in Light Stanza. Thank you.